Well, when we was in the 7th grade, he sat behind me in school. we we weren't we were just friends, you know, for years. But that's where I met him. He was in my classes at school. We wouldn't talk to each other much or anything. I can remember him and a bunch of boys would follow us. I'd walk home down Sherman Street, and he from junior high, and he and his friends, they'd walk behind us and make remarks, you know, how the kids do. But we never went together at all until after I graduated from high school. When we were in the 9th grade, Waldo started buying that half-acre lot out there. It was outside the city limits, and it had been an orchard, and they quit having an orchard there and divided it up in lots, and so he and Wilma both bought a half-acre, and I think he paid $250 for it, but he just paid a dollar a week on that ground. And then after we got married, then we went out there and we put a well down, drove a sand point down till we got water, and Waldo fixed us a little 4-room house there. Real nice little house. It's still there. When Nancy was born, then we built a room on it and put a bathroom in. And we got electric pumps, so we didn't have to pump water, because we didn't have any city water, you know. And I bought a base burner for $5. We was going to heat our house with it. And here the city come around and said they were going to run a gas line there and we could get gas. Well, I had a kerosene stove I was cooking on. And they let us pay by the week or a month on our stove, and we got a gas heater, and that would heat the house. It did a good job. And then later on we put in we lived there about 10 years before we moved up here. So, and it was a nice little house, had hardwood floors, and but it was on a dirt street and had a dirt driveway. We didn't ever cement the driveway, or it didn't have a garage. Had a chicken house. And behind the chicken house I had a pig pen, and I'd keep a pig until he got grown, and then we'd butcher it. Had a big can of lard and ham and bacon and all. I'll tell you what, I was working out to Cessna, and I every day he was working at Aircraft Woodworkers. He was superintendent there. He had a real good job, and we paid off our house. We was paying $15 a month on our house. Sometimes we didn't have that $15 a month, but when we was both working, we did, and we paid off the house, and it was ours then. Waldo wasn't known to stay on a job very long. He just didn't. He'd get mad and quit. And that's what happened there at Aircraft Woodworkers. I took him to work. He was fine that morning when I took him to work. And then Cessna was way out east of town. And so I took the car out there, and when I come back, why, they said, well, he got mad and quit. That's all I knew. No warning or anything. And I thought, oh golly, now he will have to go to service for sure. But he went over to the radiator shop and got a job over there. Low paying job, didn't pay very much. But anyway, so I kept my job, and even when he decided to come up here and go in with Ike on that radiator shop, it's torn down now. It was on the alley. You had to go to it from the alley. And anyway, I stayed there and kept working because I figured, doggone, he'll probably get mad or tired of it and quit. I didn't want us to not have any money. So anyway, I waited a couple months till I could see it was going to work out all right. And then I come up here and I think it was 44, I'm not sure. We built our house in 48, but you couldn't build a house during the war. And for a long time afterwards, they didn't have wood and stuff you needed. So. We had $13,000 saved, and we put it all on that house. But we didn't finish it. It didn't have any porches yet. And, we moved in anyway. It was better than what we was living in. And we didn't have a garage. We didn't have a driveway. We didn't have a street even. There was no street down there. We was just out in the middle of a field. But nobody else built down there until they put a street in. That's how come our house is up higher than anybody else's there, because we were level with Grand Street. And it gradually sloped down to Stink Creek after it passed our house. But at that time, we was level with June and people where Drylings lived. Our houses were all even. But now June Redford, they was building their house at the same time, but she got water from Grand, and we couldn't get it. So we had to wait until they put some water down there, you know, so we could have water. You couldn't live in a house without water. So. I was pregnant with Polly when we started building that house, and I wanted to be in there when she was born, but we couldn't get any water or anything there. I never did go back to work then until Polly went away to college, and that's when I started working away from home. Well, I'd help Waldo. I kept his books down there at the shop. And I run errands for him. Lots of times I'd have to drive to Great Bend to buy a radiator and things like that. So.